On rainy days when the sun shines bright, beware the coming of heavenly lights. In a gloom the fox bride hides, tempting men with her ghostly lies. As her lights draw you near, her vixen scream will be all that you hear. A fox's supper you will become, until the rain is finally done. Hello everyone, I'm Anne-Marie and welcome to my channel. So the piece I'm working on in this video is inspired by a piece of Japanese lore referred to as the Fox Wedding. In the lore, on rainy days when it's a little bit foggy out, yet the sun is still shining, a procession of lights can be seen in the mist. The lights appear to be the typical lantern parade that would guide a bride to her new home. Yet when the villagers would venture out to discover who it was that was getting married, they found nothing. It is stated that the lights are the work of foxes, playing tricks on the unwitting. So I took that story and turned it into something a bit darker and something more my style. In my version of the tale, the trickster hiding in the mist is this vixen-like being who uses glowing lights to lure people to their death. I wanted to give her an ethereal vibe, so I tried to paint her as if she was part of the fog, or if the fog was a part of her. That's why her kimono is sort of flowing into the mist that surrounds her. Glowing eyes, which are supposed to represent fox eyes, surround her. In my version of the tale, these lights are what lure people to their demise. Later on in the piece, I add some people who are standing on the other side of the river. They are looking out, witnessing this spectacle of lights. Some of the figures are already so drawn to the display that they've already begun crossing the river, unknowingly towards the being that will consume them. I realize this is a bit of an odd take on the story, but I tend to like my fairy tales pretty dark and gloomy. In the picture, her kimono is stained red and embroidered with skulls. Now these tiny skulls are probably my favorite element of the piece. I'm really happy with how they turned out, and I think they add a bit of a dramatic flair. Another element I like is the bamboo forest. Now this was my very first time trying to ink bamboo, and overall I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. It was really time consuming to paint, but I think the effect is well worth it. Now I'll talk a little bit about the materials I used. So I used a wide variety of different materials. To begin with, the piece was drawn on Strathmore cold pressed watercolor paper, and a majority of the painting was completed using Dr.Ph Martin's colored inks. Now these inks are a product I really love. They're just so vibrant and saturated with color and so easy to paint with. I also used a little bit of watercolor to paint the river and add a sort of yellow glow around the fox eyes. I also used gold ink, some Copic markers, Prismacolor Verithin colored pencils, a variety of fine liners, and some white gel pen for highlights. I'll leave specifics about the materials and brands of supplies I used in the description down below. Overall, I'm pretty happy with how the picture turned out. There are definitely some things I wish I had done differently now as I look at the final result. But I think part of the beauty of traditional art is that it's often not perfect. So here in the video, I'm adding some blood to her hand, face, and veil. And of course, this splattered blood belongs to one of her recent victims. So I want to thank you guys for watching, and if you have a suggestion for a fairy tale or piece of lore that you'd like to see reimagined, please leave it in the comments down below. I plan on continuing this series in which I take a fantasy story and rework it. But I'd love to know if there's a story in particular that you guys would like to see me make. Once again, thank you for watching and listening to this painted fable. I will see you all next time. Bye!